láyé olúgbọ́n mo ké borùn méje ẹ ò máa kọ yí lórin láyé àrẹ̀sà mo ké borùn mẹ́fà ẹ ò máa kọ yí lórin láyé ìsẹ̀yìn èmi ra kókò mo ra rán mo ra sányán bàbá sọ àfọ̀lẹ́ ló lè pélé.
Hello everyone, my name is Adeyemo Adegbemiga Ganiu and I welcome you to my new Yoruba Abrahamic YouTube video. Today I want to talk about the Yorubas and the Africans, how they have continuously and unconsciously suppresses their own spirit from functioning to its fullest, all in their act of borrowing and answering different Western and Abrahamic religions' name, without them considering the spiritual effect in the later future. One of the most ignored questions had to do with how the enslaved West African people who were taken to the New World oftenly ignores that they don't seem to ask why were their initial African names and languages had to be changed to an English word or Portuguese like those of the Brazil. And aside the fact that some historians were actually able to come up with the idea of truly they were trying to detach the enslaved from their roots in West Africa, they also fail to acknowledge that there is also a spiritual reason to why this was done by the enslavers, because it has a real effect. For the record, to lose oneself actually also means to lose one language and name, because those two things, they speak a lot in the life of an individual person on earth. Because through a name, one can truly receive or can continue to receive his ancestral blessing from his great ancestor, even though they are not alive, and whichever area you find yourself in the universe. Through that same name, a link to one's true originality is secured. Imagine me as a Benga, maybe I was being enslaved to a part of the Asia, deep Asia, about 400 years ago. If my name is still retained like Adegbemiga, it will be very much easier for my grand generational children to trace back my ancestry down to the tribe that bears that name. And not just in Yoruba land now, they will still even be able to acknowledge the very particular region I came within Yoruba space. So name also serves as a security for an ancestral root. And the most important part also has to do with the valuability of a name, because a name also carries what we know as identity. It also carries what we know as also have a legacy identity, what really happens when I was born and how my name came to be. But before we go dive into it, we are not talking about a remix or diluting or nickname now. But before we really go dive into it, let's just first look into what the Bible itself, so it will give you a clue of what to expect in how we explain later. The Bible itself in Proverbs 18-21 did said, "The tongue has the power of life and death." I want you to acknowledge that. Likewise, in that same Proverbs in 16:24, he also said, "Divine words are like honeycomb, sweet in the soul and healing the true bone." In generality, the verse is telling us that what comes out of our mouth is very powerful, and how we say it, how we present it, has a very strong spiritual effect on our soul. That goes a long way. Therefore, long before the Western education and culture prevail in Africa and suppresses the indigenous traditional way of life, the Yoruba people by two family, they don't just wake up one day after giving birth to a child and think of random name to give. No, they always put into consideration two factors, and one had to do with consultations of the oracle of the Almighty of God, which is Ifa Eledumare in Yoruba. The other factor always had to do with how they will consider every situation or circumstances that come along with that child when they were giving birth to him. As a matter of fact, let me use my home for an instant. My name is Adeyemo Adegbenga, like I commonly said at the beginning of the video. I learned that prior before I was giving birth to, when my mom was still carrying my pregnancy, one of my uncle was later that has been trying to get crowned, was later crowned as a king at one part of Yoruba land, and likewise wealth beginning to rush into our family. So collectively, aside my father, my mother, most of my family, they had to come together to suggest that let's give this guy Adeyemo Adegbenga, because the name reflected the crown that my uncle was later given, and also the upliftment of the greatness within the family, which is also as a weight. Not just only me, this is also a common factor among the Yoruba. So many things always happen, and whatever happen within the tribe, within the family or household, always have an impact in the name that shall be given to the newborn baby. I hope you understand it. In a nutshell, so naturally, as I'm growing up, the spiritual blessing of the royal family will continuously to evolve around my existence. The way I talk, naturally with the way I talk, the way I look. This is why in Yoruba, when a child or something does something that can be likened to his ancestor, the Yoruba will say, "Omotekun babi ekun lo majo." You are actually taking some factors of your ancestor, the glory of your ancestor. That is all about that. On the other hand, let us now go into another deep example. Let's say a Yoruba girl named Oluwakemi traveled abroad to the Western world. And probably after getting to the Western world, she decided to nickname herself, or probably out of self-inferiority complex, she just wanted to be a British person or a white person. She personally gave herself a new name known as Cecilia. But whether they gave birth to her there or something like that, she obviously don't know that by renaming those names, our inability to understand the very root of that name, just because the name sounds so sweet in pronunciation, is actually detriment to his own soul. Because Cecilia means a blind human, afọ́jú lásán, even though it sounds so sweet in the mouth, and which basically means Oluwakemi has personally choose to curse himself in the name of ignorances. So each time his friend or people in the Western world continuously tag her or refer to her as Cecilia, consciously or unconsciously, she has banded her own spirit. She has decided to go blind because orúkọ máa ń ro ẹni. The more they call you, the more the spiritual effect of each name become part of you. Directly, naturally, there is no two-way about, because in our mind or in our talk or the way we speak, there is power in there. That is exactly why I said we need to first read that biblical verses. Having known this, we now need to tell ourselves, what does all this teaching got to do with Abrahamic names? Because it's an extension of the reality. The Abrahamic religion itself, I continue to say, they are white men, the Europeans, and the Pale Arab institution, and it's never a thing of the Almighty. It's not an establishment of the Almighty or the Prophet at all. They are both built upon the political foundations of those who founded it, and the intentions were very certain, just to entrap the Africans, both spiritually and physically. And one of the agenda was to make sure that the African detach from the indigenous traditions of the Africans, which they founded that the Africans were doing before they brought the religion to override it. So they brought this religion to detach the African from their spiritual way of life. So let's now go in, what does this name actually mean? What they gave you as a replacement of the indigenous African names that was actually working for you before they brought religions and continuously pushes it in your front for you to change your name to the Western world. Please, 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 this is just for educational purposes. I'm not here to attack anybody. Heaven bears me a witness. I love my Yoruba Muslim, I love my Yoruba Christian, I love my traditionalist, I love non-Yorubas who are just true seeker. I love everyone. So I'm not here to attack anybody. It will be very shocking for so many Muslims not to know today that the 99 names of Allah that Muslims continuously brag about, that they continuously use as their new name to replace their traditional given name, that there is nothing of such in the entire Quran. Go and find out. The Almighty, the Muhammad, everything in the text, they acknowledge nothing known as 99 names of Allah, and that is for a fact. As a matter of fact, in Surah Al-Araf, in 7 verse 180, the Almighty himself in that same Quranic text boldly came out and tell everyone that I am the Almighty. Call me any beautiful names that well suit you. Whichever name you call me that is beautiful, I'm okay with it. Don't box me into 199 or into anything, because really the Quran itself, like I said, was never meant to be a religion, like quite the Torah. They were all reminder, like an historical book you can reference to what happened to a particular people, Oya Sheyola, in the past, and so many of the African people. It was never meant to be religionized or even indoctrinized. It was the invaders that coined everything around their own political agenda and uses it against the people of the book. So in the Quran, that's Araf, the Almighty is basically saying, if you're a Yoruba person who perceive me as Eledumare, good for you. If you're an Igbo person who knows me as Chineke, I'm okay with you. If you're an Egyptian who understood me as Amun, that is your own problem. Likewise, or Bantu, Akan, whichever in Africa, whichever name you know that is pretty, that is okay, that well befitted me, I am the Almighty. This is why I keep saying that the way the Almighty position himself before you is different from the way the Almighty position himself towards another person. So it's meaningless for us to be fighting about the name of the Almighty. The Almighty is not saying, just like the way Muslim, Christian, everybody used to fight today, we are the divine one. Is very childish. The Almighty did not send anybody. You are on your own. If you die, that is just the reality. So the Almighty is basically telling in the Quran that, call me whichever name you like. I'm not bound to any religion or 199 or whichever way. So I don't give a F about however you describe me. My own relationship to you is what matters. That is exactly what it is. And this now brought us to the term Abdu. When we are now talking Abdu, they've so much brainwashed we Africans to believe that to be obedient or to be righteous means to see yourself as a slave. Whereas, is there any mullah in the entire world that can tell me where the Almighty said people who follows me or who like me, they have to address themselves as slave? Because the slave they are trying to say, they are just forging it around the Persian view of the Africans. So, whichever time it basically means the African Muslim and Yoruba, they are actually slave of the religion founders. They are not the slave of the Almighty. So for you to understand better or to comprehend things I'm about to say next, I need to put it in front, then now add it to things I'm about to now. Let's now understand where the whole concept of Abdu, 99 names of Allah, everything they are giving to Muslim. Let us look at what it actually means, and you yourself should be the judge for heaven's sake. Let me start by telling you, I won't be able to say much of this. If you want, you can mail me. I will give you the full breakdown. Let us start by the name. We commonly give ourselves the name Wasiu, Abdul Wasiu. That is what Muslim, they will say Abdul Wasiu. Do Muslim even know the meaning of Wasiu? Wasiu means largeness. In Kanto Tobi, you means large. If you now put it Abdul Wasiu, it becomes the slave of big thing. Or a big thing, or the slave of big thing. What does that mean? Maybe I don't have brain. You should just tell me what that means. The slave of a big thing. Because it actually means it means something that is not reasonable. So they have to coin it around the slave of a big god. Allah said he doesn't know anything concerning 99. So why are you putting the slave of a big god or the biggest god, the slave of the Almighty God? There is nothing of such. Allah is not in Wasiu. It's just Abdu. Abdu means slave. Wasiu means big. So there's nothing relating to Allah there. Let us now go into another one. Like we have Aliyah. That is even a common name. Aliyah actually means a tall one. A slave of a tall one. How can you be we have another one like Wahid. Wahid means one. A slave of the one. Who is one? Are you referring to the one God, one deity, one angel, one everything? Because there is no Allah in the whole context. It's just Abdul Wahid. It's not Abdul Allah Wahid. We have the Balikis. Balikis means sadness. So we give birth to our child, and we decide to name her Sadness. come on now. This is too much. The more you are discovering this thing, you will just be weeping for us. Talo Sawa Dibai. We have Zainab. Zainab means a withered tree, a dry tree. We are naming our child a tree. Jalili. Jalili means big, a slave of the big. I don't know. Maybe you guys, please put it in the comment below. I need to, maybe there's something I'm missing in the whole conversation. But with the whole structure, the way it's the whole 99 is not from the Quran, and Allah is not boxing or having anything to do with the 99. So when we are now talking about the 99 name, we have to treat it separately as well, because Allah does not say this is my name. Anyone can come up with any name. This is why Allah said, give me any name. It does not have to be within the 9. Give me any name that suits you. So those who brought out the 99, they are giving Allah names that are not even relating to Allah. Because what has tree got to do with Allah? What has Abdul, being a slave, got to do with Allah? What has calling yourself big, sadness, what are this name got to do with Allah? So they are two separate things. I don't want to go further in that. If you need more of this, mail me or comment below. Let's go into Christianity. The Christianity too, they will say some people will name themselves John. John means thank you, gratitude. What has gratitude got to do with God? He's not Ella John. He's not Elohim John. It's just John. Gratitude. It's like I should name my son Modupe or Mopatewo Modupe. Let us know like Aaron. Aaron means a thick, in koto strong. Omolile, ole. As in, likewise Paul. Paul means small. Is he Elohim Paul? Is that, yeah? As in, he's out of senses. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Don't be so many things. Simeon was translated to ear, Kagboro. Goliath, exile. If you put all these things, we know what the English word actually means. We don't need to go further with the English word. Like Julia or Juliet means someone young. The English word drink water, stick, smith, someone blacksmith who is jumping. You see someone cage, different kind of things. And if you want to know the relationship between all these things, if we put it together, it actually means these words are just sentencing words, are just nicknames. They are irrelevant words. They have no spiritual effect in your life. In fact, they will rather damage you more. They will kill the spirit in you. Like the way they call us a black man. The black man was derived from be lacking human. Now imagine every day I'm waking up to, despite your same Bible have said there's power in your tongue, and I'm now waking every day to be saying you must be lacking, you will be lacking. Of course, I will be poor to the rest of my life because you are basically causing me, and I'm accepting the cause daily by daily out of ignorance. So this is what I'm saying. Either from the religious aspect, from the Western view of the names, everything, these are ordinary names that will rather destroy you or have nothing to do with your life. This is why I continue to say that it's better to go to your tribe, define who you are. The name given to you by your tribe, define who you are. Every name outside your tribe, you're on your own. So this is where we shall be coming to an end. I will see you in my next video. Let me press the like button. Let me subscribe. Let me turn up the notification bell. If you want more of this name, particularly the Muslim, the Christian thing, I will email me or make your comment known below. Tell me that you want it. I will give you all the name. Go home, go and study it. You will see the name we are calling ourselves under the umbrella of religion. We are calling ourselves different kind of names. Stupid, tree, slippers, toilet. We are just because it sounds so good in our mouth. Talo Shewabai. May the Almighty continues to enlighten us. I will see you in my next video, everyone. Thank you and bye for now.